Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we are back here to update you on absolutely everything. Stay tuned on the channel in the next hours because it's going to be crazy. Rodri to Barcelona, Ferran Torres to Paris Saint-Germain, absolutely everything coming to an end. These sagas, but there is going to be more. There is going to be plenty of news, and so as always, remember to subscribe, to be part of the family, to send in your comments, and we have to talk about several topics, several stories for these hours, these days. Let me start, guys, by mentioning, first of all, the news of the night, because there is a surprise for Alexis Sánchez, now the former Barcelona, Arsenal, Inter, Man United, Sevilla player, is joining Montreal in MLS. Good luck to Alexis Sánchez, who is joining on a free transfer, one of the surprises of the night. And from the night, also news for Premier League and Serie A, because an exclusive story on the Italian channel regarding Djed Spence, who did fantastic at the World Cup with the English national team. Now he's a top target for Inter as right wing back. What happened? Inter, before the World Cup and at the beginning of the World Cup, so around June, were already negotiations for Djed Spence. He was a target for Inter at right wing back after they missed out on Marco Palestra. He was the top target. Then they tried to sign Halaili, but was not possible because of Italian regulations on the medical test. Inter decided to go for Djed Spence, but then Djed Spence started performing in a fantastic way for the English national team at the World Cup under Thomas Tuchel, and so Tottenham made it impossible to go for Djed Spence. Tottenham were asking for around 45 million euros, so a very big transfer fee, when Inter expected to spend maybe 20-25 million euros. So the deal was not possible. This is why the Djed Spence deal was not advancing around July. But what happened now? Despite many links on Liverpool, on Man United, on several clubs, Inter remain the most interested club in Djed Spence. Inter are very keen on Djed Spence. Now Inter are back to the table, and Inter are prepared to bid for Djed Spence if Tottenham Hotspur are ready to concede a lower transfer fee. Inter are not paying 45 million euros. So if Tottenham are accepting something around a 35 million euros package, Inter are ready to bid, and the player would be keen on a move to Inter. This is the understanding. So let's see what's going to happen there, but for sure Inter are back on Djed Spence, and Inter are working on it. Then, talking about more topics, guys. First of all, let me mention one thing. Don't forget Savinho and Tottenham, because Tottenham keep working on Savinho. The deal remains on. And Manchester City are working on a new winger. At the moment, for Pedronto, I can 100% confirm that he's one of the names on the list of Manchester City. I can 100% confirm that Man City are interested in Pedronto, but at the moment, there is a gap in valuation for Pedronto between Manchester City and Chelsea, a very big gap in valuation, and so at the moment, the Pedronto deal is financially not easy. Also, on Pedronto, Chelsea are not desperate to sell Pedronto at all. Chelsea are happy with the player, so they are not putting the player on the exit list. If a big proposal arrives, good, otherwise Chelsea are more than happy to keep him. And then Pedronto is still mentioned as an option for Tottenham if the Savinho deal doesn't happen. But the priority remains Savinho. Manchester City, to let Savinho go, have to sign a new winger. This is the plan of the club. So internal talks on a new winger are taking place at Manchester City. So let's see what's going to happen there. As we are talking about wingers, guys, I want to spend a minute on Paris Saint-Germain. PSG are focused on the UEFA Super Cup against Aston Villa. It's going to be a big moment, so I don't expect any evolution for the Mika Godts deal before the Super Cup. But my understanding is that after the Super Cup, Paris Saint-Germain and Ajax will be back in conversations, back in negotiations for Mika Godts. So Paris Saint-Germain are returning to the table. They are ready to offer more than 45 million euros fixed plus add-ons. So they are ready to get closer to the starting valuation made by Ajax, 60 million euros. Obviously, this deal could be important for the Bradley Barcola story. Why? Because for Bradley Barcola to join Liverpool, it's really important one factor, the financial factor between clubs. Because the player is keen on a move to Liverpool. Barcola wants to go to Liverpool, so on this there is no doubt. But the crucial point is if Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain can get closer on the transfer fee value. At the moment there is still distance between Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool on the transfer fee. But if Paris Saint-Germain sign after Ferran Torres, after Akliouche, also Mika Godts, obviously this could change the scenario and could make it eventually more open for Liverpool to try reach a financial agreement with Paris Saint-Germain. Liverpool are not paying 170 million euros. This will not happen. So Paris Saint-Germain are not expected to close the deal at 170. They're expecting to negotiate that fee. But we have to understand if between 100, 110 million euros and 170 million euros, there could be common ground between Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool or not. So this is going to be the crucial factor to understand more on this story. But don't forget that Mika Godts PSG is still on. Talking about wingers, Mykhailo Mudryk, the update I can give you today is that Chelsea and the agents of the player are starting evaluating a loan deal for Mykhailo Mudryk. There are several possibilities, approaches from Italy, approaches from Premier League, an idea at Blue Co Chelsea Group to send the player on loan to Strasbourg, so to remain under the Blue Co control. My understanding is that the priority for the player, for Mykhailo Mudryk, would be Premier League. So the favorite destination for Mykhailo Mudryk would be Premier League. Now we have to understand what kind of solution will appear on the table. In the next days, there will be a conversation, a direct conversation between Chelsea and the agents for this situation, so in order to pick the favorite option for the player and also for Chelsea. So they will talk to the agents and they will find a solution for Mykhailo Mudryk, but the expectation is for a loan move. The expectation is for Mudryk to go play after Chelsea decided to give him an opportunity also in pre-season to be back with the squad, and it's a fantastic news to see Mykhailo Mudryk back with the team. After that, conversations taking place for a loan. Priority for the player, Premier League, but Chelsea also offering Serie A and Strasbourg as opportunities for the boy. And then, just to close, guys, many questions I received over the recent days were about Eduardo Camavinga, if there is still a possibility for Man United, for other clubs. Guys, United called the agents of Camavinga in July. United wanted to be informed, but the answer Camavinga is giving to all the clubs, United and those interested before United, has always been the same. Camavinga wants to stay at Real Madrid. Camavinga wants to continue at Real Madrid. Camavinga is not changing his mind, and so as of today there are no changes. Camavinga insists on staying at Real Madrid, and now with Rodri not joining Real Madrid, Camavinga is even more motivated to stay, continue and try convince Jose Mourinho. So guys, on this and much more, I will keep you posted in the next hours, in the next days. Stay tuned here on the channel, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel and let me know your opinion on all these stories. Also, one more, because obviously it's going to be a crucial moment also for Julián Álvarez. And so stay tuned on the Julián Álvarez saga, because the player is back at Atlético Madrid, because Barcelona still talk to the agents of the player to understand if there is a way to enter, but as of today, from Atlético Madrid, the message they are sending again to the player and to his agent is no to Barcelona. So Atlético insists on closing doors to Barcelona. So it's now on the player. Let's see what Julián will do. But for sure, from Atlético, they insist on not sending the player to Barca.